Let's say Mr. Beast woke up one morning and said, "All right, I am buying a country." Sounds possible, doesn't it? But wait, because the numbers take this somewhere far more interesting than you'd think. Mr. Beast's net worth as of 2026 is approximately $2.6 billion. Beast Industries is valued at $5 billion. Now, think about this. The world's smallest economy, Tuvalu, has an entire annual GDP of just $65 million, which means Mr. Beast could theoretically buy Tuvalu about 40 times over. This isn't a joke, this is math. So my first question is, can a YouTuber actually buy a country? The answer is somewhere between no and actually not as impossible as it sounds. Because under international law, buying a country isn't possible. Sovereignty isn't for sale. But buying a country's economy, its infrastructure, and the institutions that shape its future, that's a completely different question. And history has examples of exactly this. Let's walk through it step by step. Where does Mr. Beast get the money? His annual income is between $600 and $700 million. But here's the interesting part. He himself has said he keeps less than $1 million in his bank account, because apparently he reinvests everything he earns back into content. Beast Industries generated $400 million in revenue in 2024, but didn't turn a profit. So this is a man who is a billionaire on paper, but in practice, someone who puts everything back into his work. So the question is, what would happen if he invested that money into a country instead? Let's use a more concrete example than Tuvalu. Palau, a small island nation in the Pacific, population 18,000, annual GDP of approximately $330 million. With Mr. Beast's wealth, you could cover roughly 8 years of Palau's entire economic output. What does that mean? You could rebuild the entire infrastructure, schools, hospitals, ports. You could rebuild tourism from scratch. You could wipe out the country's external debt, and you'd still have most of the money left over. But here's where the real question starts. Spending the money is one thing. Running the country is another. History has examples of companies and wealthy individuals intervening in small countries' economies at this scale, and the results weren't always good. In the 19th century, the East India Company effectively governed most of what is now India, a trading company. It had its own army, collected taxes, declared wars. Eventually, the British government had to take control. So private capital performing the functions of a state isn't a new idea, and every time it happened, it ended in a complicated mess. Back to Mr. Beast. He is a philanthropist. I genuinely like him. Through the Beast Philanthropy channel, he built food banks. With Team Trees, he planted over 24 million trees. With Team Seas, he raised $30 million for ocean cleanup. With Team Water, he raised $40 million. These aren't small numbers. But buying a country is categorically different from all of this. Because in philanthropy, you stay in control. You decide when to give and where to give. In a country, the lives, culture, political structure, and future generations of 18,000 people come into play. And those people know you're a YouTuber. What about sovereignty? Under international law, buying a country isn't possible. But think about it this way. If you become the only major investor, the only major employer, and the only major infrastructure provider in a country, are that country's decisions genuinely independent anymore? Even asking this question is unsettling, and that discomfort isn't unjustified, because small island nations are already under pressure from major powers and foreign investment today. The fact that it's Mr. Beast doesn't change the equation, it just makes it more visible. In conclusion, Mr. Beast mathematically has the wealth to buy the entire economy of more than one small country, but money can't buy sovereignty. It can buy infrastructure, it can buy an economy, it can create dependency, but to truly own a country, you need something far beyond money, legitimacy. And legitimacy doesn't come with a subscriber count.
Thank you for watching so far. Subscribe for more.